Nearly a year ago today, I stood in this office at this very spot to tell you about the Category 5 fiscal hurricane that we were facing. I told you that the capital city was facing a structural deficit of $110 million for the current fiscal year. Acting together, we made some difficult decisions, all aimed at improving the structure of the city's finances and at strengthening our fiscal outlook. Together, we reduced the $110 million structural deficit to under $30 million right now. I started in the mayor's office, cutting my own pay by 10% and refusing my elected official pension along with several members of the city council. We also reduced spending across city departments, including a 13% cut in the mayor's office budget. Many shared in the sacrifice to move our city forward. We laid off non-union staff and froze non-essential hiring. Providence taxpayers have sacrificed, enduring increased property taxes, car taxes, and fee increases. Many of those same taxpayers are battling unemployment, foreclosure, and the general effects of a stagnant economy. To those taxpayers who have sacrificed, thank you. I understand your sacrifice and am incredibly grateful for it. Last year, our city workers from Local 1033 came to the table and sacrificed, reducing their pay and longevity. Many retired to spare their brothers and sisters from layoffs. Our firefighters, who had fiercely fought for and finalized the contract only months before, came back to the bargaining table. They sacrificed in order to help our great city. Our police officers took the difficult step of agreeing to as many as 6 years without a raise in order to save their youngest officers from losing their jobs. Many also chose the option of early retirement. Our teachers went through a very public and painful process of sacrifice. I sent termination notices to all of our teachers. I then went through the process of closing 5 schools, affecting not only our teachers but our students, parents, and neighborhoods. In addition, Providence teachers pay into the state retirement system and have seen their pension benefits change significantly in the wake of state-level reform. In all, over 200 people who were on the payroll a year ago are no longer on the city's payroll. The General Assembly and the City Council helped us in an unprecedented manner, and for that I would like to thank Speaker Fox, Senate President Piva-Weed, the entire Providence delegation, and Governor Chafee. We received support through various pieces of legislation, and specifically we were given the ability through enabling legislation to move retirees over 65 to Medicare. The City Council also worked tirelessly with my administration to advocate for the city and to pass 2 difficult budgets. I would like to recognize the leadership of Council President Solomon, Majority Leader Yurden, and all of the members of the City Council who are here today. However, not everyone has sacrificed. Thus far, our tax-exempts have not sacrificed. The failure of our tax-exempts to sacrifice has left a $7.1 million hole in our budget. Collectively, our large hospitals, colleges, and universities own nearly $3 billion worth of property in the city of Providence. Because of their privileged status as tax-exempts, they avoided almost $105 million in taxes this year. Despite this privilege, the tax-exempts have thus far refused to share in the sacrifice to save Providence. Our retirees have not yet sacrificed and are hiding behind decades-old contracts and a consent decree that promise ill-advised and unsustainable 5% and 6% compounded yearly raises, because that's what COLAs are. They're compounded yearly raises. We are being held hostage by the guaranteed 5% and 6% compounded yearly raises that over 600 retirees are receiving. They have raised our pension liability and yearly contribution into the stratosphere. Meanwhile, while our city workers, our police officers, our firefighters are all going without raises, these retirees enjoy the luxury of 5% and 6% compounded raises every year. We continue to have some retirees who demand and expect health care for life without paying any co-share, costing the city and the taxpayer over $38 million per year. We just tried to lower this cost by taking the reasonable step of moving retirees to Medicare. However, a judge has ruled that we cannot do this and has pushed the city to the brink of bankruptcy by creating an additional $8 million hole in the city budget. Every advisor tells me I should never utter that word because rating agencies are always listening. But the truth is that we are running out of choices and everything is on the table. Our top 25 highest paid retirees or their spouses each collect over $109,000 a year. And that's just the pension. In all, the city and taxpayers are paying tens of millions to cover these bloated pensions and to foot the bill for the unfunded liability that has resulted from promises made without concern for the future. As a city, we no longer have the ability to sustain these benefits. It must stop now. This week, a judge's decision concluded that the fiscal precipice we are on did not warrant sacrifice from our police and fire retirees. While I respect the judicial process, I strongly disagree with the ruling. We will fight this decision through all legal channels. In fact, today we will file an appeal to the Rhode Island Supreme Court asking for an expedited review and reversal of her ruling. If the judge's decision is allowed to stand, the results will be devastating for the city and the state. I will also ask Governor Chafee and the General Assembly for enabling legislation to suspend COLAs at the local level in order to strengthen our legal position as we take necessary steps to get our pension costs under control. Our retirees must be part of the sacrifice to save Providence. And let me be clear, we will reduce retiree benefits. Either the retirees will accept a suspension of their guaranteed yearly raises and changes in health care, or they will follow the path of Central Falls retirees who have had their full pensions slashed drastically in bankruptcy court. But we will reduce retiree pensions. I'm inviting all retired city workers to join me for a town hall meeting on March 3rd in person at the Rhode Island Convention Center. We'll also have a live stream on the internet as well, so those who live in Florida or out of state can watch it as well. The time for action is now. We cannot wait any longer.